U.S. mortgage rates climbing to the highest level in 5 months. The 30-year fixed rate now at 6.85% as of yesterday. This is a new report shows that home insurance and property tax payments make up more than half of monthly mortgage payments for 9% of American single-family homes. Let's bring in global real estate advisor Jenna Stauffer. And Jenna, the big question with obviously the Fed moves this year, we have not seen any relief for mortgage rates. What are you hearing and seeing out there?
We haven't seen any relief for mortgage rates. And this is what is so frustrating for so many people that are aspiring to get into the housing market. There was the expectation for sure that rates were going to end the year a lot lower than where they are right now. There was also the expectation at one time that prices were going to be much lower than where they are right now. And with that being said, Cheryl, something that I'm seeing happening is people have lower expectations. They really don't expect a lot with the housing market right now in terms of big shifts. So that is one positive thing that I can say is happening in the housing market is you're kind of seeing momentum shift right now. And you're seeing people say, you know what? I'm tired of staying on the sidelines. I'm tired of trying to wait for something to happen that might not happen. I want to make some moves. So
they are going to make a move because I was looking at the data for existing home sales for 2024. Mm-hmm. We might have the worst year we've had since 1995, I think. It's pretty rough. It's been a tough year.
It is pretty rough. But again, when you look at the last 2 years, how sluggish it's been, how you've had so many fewer and fewer Americans be able to buy homes. You've had so many people be shut out. You've had this divide between the have and the have-nots. I think that the people that aren't held back by affordability constraints, they will be the ones that will hopefully start making some moves in 2024.
That's going to be interesting to see. So let's talk about prices. So home prices may drop by up to 15% in 3 Florida metropolitan cities. We know how popular Florida's been. This is a new report from real estate investment firm NORAD. Retirees are moving, by the way, in large numbers now to Myrtle Beach rather than Florida after home prices became too expensive in the Sunshine State. You're in Florida. I do want to ask about your expectations, not just for Florida, but this report now that we're seeing a lot of these retirees from the Northeast go to Myrtle Beach.
Well, we always talk about that it's young people, young families, they're being pushed out of the housing market due to affordability constraints. But really, it's these retirees, these people on fixed incomes that are also really struggling right now. And with Myrtle Beach being a top destination for them, I think it makes total sense. The cost of living there, it's lower. And if they want to still enjoy a good quality of life, this is a place that they can do that and also have that lower cost of living.
I saw a breakdown yesterday about Florida in particular, and that there's definitely a divide between some of the more affordable cities and where there's expectations that housing is going to remain strong, and there might be a pullback in popular places like Miami. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and some of these places like Miami specifically, look, prices just got so outrageous. We had enormous price gains. That is not sustainable in the long run. You have to have these prices, these wages, they have to meet more than they are right now.
Is the insurance issue really coming to fruition in Florida? Because I know that that's a lot of home buyers now are talking about the fact that when you've got either you can't get home insurance, the condo regulations I know are changing along the coast. What's happening with that right now?
Insurance is a challenge, absolutely, that Floridians face. We have really had to deal with tremendous increases in insurance. And unfortunately, what does it do? It shuts people out. It shuts your retirees out. That's why I believe Myrtle Beach, that's a popular destination for them. It shuts young families out. It also really shuts your working class out because you're not just dealing with high insurance costs. You're dealing with higher taxes. You're dealing with the higher home prices, the elevated mortgage rates. This is a lethal combination. And again, this is why we've witnessed the fastest deterioration in housing affordability.
That's the thing, too. If you look at the breakdown of the mortgage payments, it really is unbelievable what's happening. I know that's happening in many places here in New York because you've got property taxes and then you've got the insurance issue, which the property taxes, that's a local problem. There's nothing really the Trump administration can do about that right now. I want to ask you about this new lawsuit because this could impact, in particular, some borrowers out there. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau just filed this lawsuit against Rocket Homes. Allegedly, they provided incentives to brokers and agents to steer buyers towards the parent company, Rocket Mortgage, Jenna. And I want you to kind of break down this because this is, it seems to be, the lawsuit seems to have validity.
Well, this is really scary, number one. And number two, one of the first things I tell buyers before you can go out and shop for a home, you shop around for different lenders. Lenders can offer different programs. They can offer different rates. You can be saving hundreds, thousands of dollars on your payments just from shopping around and finding that right person. So to be steering someone to one company, who is this hurting? It is hurting, again, these aspiring home buyers. It's giving them another added expense that they absolutely do not need in this market.
Okay, before you go, $1 million question. I always ask this of you, but are sellers getting more realistic about where the market is right now?
They are getting more realistic. I'm seeing it happening. Of course, there are still sellers out there that still believe that their home is worth exactly the same it was 2 years ago, and they might be in an area where you've seen that downward pressure on prices. But I think finally what's happened, and this all again goes back to the momentum that's really shifting in the housing market. You're seeing sellers, they want to move their house. Okay, they don't want it to just stay on the market. They're also afraid that it could stay on the market for too long. So we finally are starting to see sellers start to adjust.
Well, it's a whole new year next year. Jenna Stauffer, it's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Thank you for coming into the studio.
Thank you, Cheryl.
All right, we've got a lot more coming up this morning.